Okay, it's time to revisit Dandadan now that the series is well on its way.
Yeah, so there's 8 episodes so far, I think. I've been loving every one of them, to be honest.
At the time of this recording, yes, 8 episodes. I think there are going to be 12 episodes total for season 1. We covered the first 3 episodes when they were released in theaters as a special screening.
And so much has happened since episode 3. It feels like every episode has a major twist to the plot.
Well, let's quickly recap for listeners. From episode 4 to 8, we saw Momo and Okarun defeat Turbo Granny, and Granny gets transferred to a cat statue. There's more of Momo and Okarun's romantic tension, which is developed, and a new girl, the pink-haired Ira, gets introduced, and she's a rival to Momo. We see the backstory of a motherly yokai that captures Ira.
Which was a total tearjerker, by the way.
Right, and then in episode 8, we get to see a cliffhanger ending with Ira possessing some kind of power that looks similar to Okarun when they are ambushed by aliens at the school.
You know, out of all the new anime this fall season, Dandadan is my favorite. I thought it was going to be the Uzumaki series, but I was so disappointed where that one went after the first episode. Real drop-off in quality.
Same for me, but back to Dandadan. I realized that the series is entertaining because it's a mix of different elements: action, romance, comedy, and lovable characters. So as a viewer, you're getting a little bit of everything in your entertainment. All the key ingredients are there. Momo and Okarun's relationship is a huge part of why the show works, because we see how they are so good together, and we believe in their relationship.
Momo's my girl. Like, I love how the series doesn't shy away from showing parts of her personality that might seem unattractive, like how she can be so lazy or hot-tempered. It makes her feel more real as a character.
In many ways, Okarun's cautious and neurotic nature acts as this opposing force to Momo's personality. Their differences create real tension that build the dramatic story beats and scenes, but it also fuels their romantic chemistry. And now the show has added Ira to the mix, and I can see how the tension between her and Momo will add to the overall series.
I love how delusional Ira is. She could have been a stereotypical bimbo character, but her earnest nature makes me smile. She really wants to be this spiritual warrior fighting against evil forces.
She's definitely becoming a favorite. Don't forget Grandma, or Seiko Ayase, as well. The moment she showed up, I knew that cosplayers would be dressing up as her on TikTok. She has so much attitude and some of the show's funniest lines.
I really hope the show lands the season finale well. I'll be so disappointed if it doesn't deliver.
We'll have to wait and see. I think the series showed it could take some risks and create these highly emotional and dramatic sequences, like when we saw the backstory of the motherly yokai that captured Ira. We see this tormented woman behind the yokai, and this gave more dimension to opponents that Momo and Okarun were fighting.
For sure, it made me think, like, no one is what you think they are. There might be a deeper story behind the surface.
Well, it's a classic tale of not judging a book by its cover. I'm not sure if the show really dwells on the nature of good versus evil, as compared to something like Lord of the Rings, for example. But it makes you wonder, if we were Momo or Okarun, how would we make the decision to demolish rogue spirits and aliens with or without a moral code?
I see what you mean. Knowing that moral code gives us an idea of how to act, like what we should do.
Without that moral code, I think we would be stuck in a dilemma, because then how do we make justified decisions to judge good from evil?
Huh, you're right. I think that everything would be more in the gray. Like, it wouldn't be clear, and that would be really confusing.